What's up, Sparkman family? It's your boy Sparkman, and today we're doing another market watch. Now, we haven't done one in a while, so we're retracing our steps a little bit backwards, and then we're gonna, get to the present. But I wanted to start off with Battle of Legend Monstrous Revenge because this was the first QCR set that we had Course Entry Secret Rares. Now, we took a look back a long time ago what these prices were, and for the most part, they were okay. Not touching Starlight Rares, but they were okay, right? What I will say is that everything has been kind of stagnant. Nothing has really moved up or down since the 2 or 3 months that I've been, away from not the game but just recording, and it doesn't seem like much things have happened in this vicinity. It seems like this went down a bit. It seems this is possibly going up, but I mean, technically it really hasn't moved because that market price, I think it's because only 8 listings left, and there's only this left, so this is why it's probably at that price. But you can see recently sold, even earlier this week was still at 180, so nothing too crazy. It's still pretty much the same as always, as it's been for the last few months. Just nothing really has moved that much. Maybe Super Poly a little bit. It looks like Dark Hole went down. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy there. Duelist Nexus. It just seemed Duelist Nexus as just, oh my god, it's dumpster fire over here. What was once we thought Magician Bonds being something as a collector item has just depleted in the market. People were saying, oh, it's gonna be $200 and upwards of like $300 to $400. It's gonna be so collectible because it's gonna have different colors of each one. Nope. The mistake they made with this is that they didn't make it like a card that already has hype around it. People don't really know what Magician Bonds is. They don't really have the hype into it already. Now, if they had done something with like a Dark Magician Girl and different color variations for each set in Course Entry Secret Rare, maybe people would have gone crazy and probably this would have spiked in the set, and maybe make it a little bit more valuable. But they chose to go this direction, and I get it. They're trying to make another card popular, but at the same time, you look at the fan base you have. Try to market towards that, right? Like, this was never gonna work. I just being honest with you, and I knew that from the start. That's why I never bought into it. And then you have other cards here just going down. I mean, we had Rev Synchron. I mean, this was holding so high at one point, and now it's all the way down to $60 as a QCR. We also have sealed boxes as well, just going down the drain. So it's been kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And then we also have, Cosmic Quasar Dragon, which is just unbelievably like underpriced at this point. A damaged copy is right now at $9, but you could see here $22, $23. So pretty insane, for the most part, holding at a pretty cheap price point for a card that it's, I would say, a collectible item for those that like Signer Dragons and everything like that. And then just other cards in the set that we thought would go up because it had maybe meta, purpose to it, like Evilzar Lars. Nothing to it really, just staying stagnant still. So a lot of the stuff in the market has stayed stagnant. It has not moved, and that's pretty crazy. Now, the one thing I will say is that Age of Overlord looks like it is actually progressing upwards and doing a very good job in the market. So, pretty much saving, I guess, 2023-2024 year, in terms of QCRs. And these are two of like the best cards that have come out in a long time. So there's no, seeing as why this would be, under the market. So, pretty good for the most part. It is holding up high. The box itself and sealed value is tremendously like top notch amazing. Like this is really good. Those that kept it sealed, props to you. I think at one point, I believe in my market watch a few months ago, we had said, it's at $70 or $80. It's not going to go down. It's not going to go down. You better pick it up now. Then it was at $100, and I said, definitely pick it up. It's going to keep going up. It's not going to go down. And now it's at 166. So that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. And again, Magician Bonds, you could see here, again, they thought they would have something with that. It's not going to be selling to what people thought it would be. Rarity Collection, I think Rarity Collection, it's definitely a hit. People love it. the box has gone up in value. There's so much to this, so I never see this as a depleting box, or the cards inside will ever go down. I can only say it either be stagnant or it will go up. I don't see it going down really, for the most part, just because it's a high rarity card for staple cards, and people love that, and people love that they were able to get the opportunity to have this. So, a plus plus for everybody. So Rarity Collection did a good job. We're hoping for more of the same in the second one that comes out later this year. So, I mean, all exciting things for sure. All exciting things, at least for Age of Overlord and the 25th anniversary Rarity Collection. We move on, and we have a collector rare set, Valiant Smashers. Again, these collector rare sets, they're just not doing it for some reason. They're not pushing the motive for people. I mean, there are good cards in here for people that want to build certain decks, like Centurion and all these decks here. But again, it's just not pushing the market. I mean, the box is, again, it's undervalued, and it's at $50 right now, and probably going to continue going downwards because people aren't going to pick up a set that they don't see themselves getting value off of it, right? And especially seal value too. I mean, there's nothing to it really. So there's all that avenues that people are looking at when they're either investing into a box or trying to open it to see what they can get in it, right? There is the other side to it. People like to open things for fun, and again, that is great, but this is a market watch, right? So we also have to cater to this market or video that we're doing. So keep that all in mind as well as we're talking about this. The Fire King structure deck, I mean, it got a lot of hype, but it just, it's a structure deck. What do you expect from it? It's not going to be overly priced, or anything like that. There's enough made of this. So, I mean, we never thought this was going to go crazy, but it's still a good deck. It's still good fire support. And, I mean, for the most part, it's seen play. So, hats off to the Fire King structure deck. I do think this is one of the more better ones in terms of structure deck and cards inside that they have made. Obviously with, Infinite Perm, Drone Lock, Solemn Judgment. I mean, you have some really good cards in here. Torrential Tribute, Dark Hole, Diamond Dire Wolf. So there are really good cards in here. So I think for the most part, this is a good structure deck. Again, the value isn't always going to be there, but it's just, if you're trying to go to locals with the deck, this is definitely one you can actually spice it up with. So pretty quickly, that is, and for a budget. The next thing we're looking at here is Maze of Millennia. Actually a collector set that didn't do terrible, right? Bonfire is actually a pretty good card. Then you have Triple Taxis Thrust as a reprint in here. So, I mean, for the most part, I will say that this collector set did some things right in some regard, but, it still has to get there. But for the most part, the seal value of the box is staying pretty high for the most part, which is nice to see. And then you do have cards that people do like Alter Guys cards. You have a collector rare type of card here, and Core Sentry rare and Junk Warrior, but it's so weird. Again, it's just I just think that people aren't taking a liking to the Core Sentry Secret Rare because, when you see the value, when you see all these cards being devalued as a QCR, you start to wonder, is it the card that people are not liking, or is it the rarity? So, I mean, and if it's the same thing over and over, it's usually going to be probably the rarity we're looking at here. And I don't think people are gravitating towards these QCRs. They're probably just oh my gosh, can we get back our Starlight Rares? Which, it's totally understandable. I think that is a valid reason, a valid case for a lot of people. And listen, it's not that many people have not fallen in love with the QCR. It just, again, it's a different crisp quality when you have a Starlight Rare compared to a QCR. But this is a really cool card. I mean, personally, I like it. I would pick it up, especially at this price point. I mean, is it $8 for a damaged copy that we're looking at here? Well, what's going on here? Let's take a look at this real quick. $8 near mint, $5 shipping. Okay, so basically $13. I mean, this is not a bad price for a main card for one of the main characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, that is, in Yusei. So I mean, hey, to each their own, but it's not a bad price point to pick it up at. And then 2-player star set. Again, I think this had good strides. I just think it came out the wrong time. I also think that there needs to be a little bit more to this, but for the most part, I mean, it was nice getting that Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus. I mean, that's a really good card in itself, but there needs to be a little bit more to this. But I get it; it's a starter set for players that are trying to get into the game, so there's that. But again, the cards it just didn't align really well. There needs to be more, I guess, making sense of what cards they were putting in this. It just felt like it was all over the place, to be honest with you. And that's not what you want, especially for someone starting to get into the game as well. And then you have your Phantom Nightmare. I think people really loved Phantom Nightmare, not because it not just had Yubel, but it had Yubel add like a power up with a Core Century Secret Rare tagged onto it. So it really cool overall. The set itself is holding pretty good value for the most part. Again, Magician Bonds, I mean, we keep talking about it, but it didn't really do much. The collector point to it is not good. But overall, the set is holding true. I will say, besides Age of Overlord and the Rarity Collection, we haven't had that burst out set since that Rarity Collection came out a few months back. But overall, I mean, it's better than what we were seeing with Soul Burning Volcano a few months back with all the heat people were giving Konami, and then the stories giving Konami as well, because again, people are not going to buy into things that people are not going to care for opening or wanting to just get in general. So good on Konami for kind of giving a little bit more to these boxes, and for the most part, I mean, there is profitable value in some of these. It's just, again, I think people are kind of getting fed up with the QCRs as well, but there is something to like about it if you like this type of rarity. I mean, it's to each their own, right? To each their own. Battles of Legend, I don't know. I mean, the only good thing is that you're getting Yubel and stuff in here, so you can build your Yubel deck. So that's a plus. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the Chaos Emperor Dragon 2, I mean, that's a good reprint. I didn't really understand this one. It was really cool at first, but then you look at it now and it's just like, I don't know. Like you don't know anymore. I just feel like it's a waste of time, to be honest with you. But okay, Konami. Sometimes I wonder. And then you have this, and then you really wonder. I will say though that the Speed Duel Secret Rare cards are always so beautiful. It's just when you look at Speed Duel itself, it's very hard for people to just gravitate towards these cards. I think I wish that the Secret Rare Speed Duel cards is what they implement in the Secret Rare for our actual boxes. I think people would really love that, and I think that is what they should start doing. And I don't know. I just think that, for the most part, I think it is a waste of time for Speed Duel products, because people don't really pick them up, and there's just overstock of them around the shelves. And I don't know, I think it's time for Konami to move on with this. I think that they've tried it out, it didn't work. And I mean, there is, like I said, the Secret Rare rarity to these Speed Duel cards is something they should definitely implement into the actual box that we have. But yeah, I think it's time to call it, but we'll see what happens. But that's it for this market watch. I hope you guys enjoyed. We just wanted to touch base with a lot of stuff happening in the market, and I've been gone for a bit, so I just wanted to retouch on some things in the past and also the present. So we'll catch you next one. Please subscribe and comment, and peace out, YouTube. I give my all, hey, just to save you, I give all.